So who knows? How are you today, sir?
I'm good. How you doing today?
Good. I'm glad it's Friday.
Happy Friday.
Yes, sir. All right. So, what's going on today?
Well, it's been really active with the SPX today, or this whole week, right? We had a really for our one of our programs, Market Power, really had a slow month last month, and it has really gotten very busy. So we're loving that. A lot of
Was it
trades. We might have another one today.
four trades
Yeah,
in 8 days or 7 days?
four
Four
trades.
trades in 7 days, and then today's or
It'll be
including
four
today.
this week. Yeah,
Okay, so 4 and 8, 4 out of 8. Yeah.
yeah. So that is active. So we're loving it. So,
And so
yeah,
far, all the trades have been winning.
yes, all winners this
The
week.
the three, yeah. So
Yep.
up, down, up, down. It was, I think, Liberation Day part two with the tariffs and the this and the deadlines and whatnot. So we had earnings from some big companies, so that kind of pushed the thing. Um, Now that I mentioned earnings, I did want to again thank you. I want to do thank you in front of everybody. Like, oh my God, I gotta put this on record. Um, a couple of our calls ago, I had mentioned that I have a Iron Condor on Eli Lilly, and I was going to take it into earnings because I was down a lot of money and I wanted to get it back. And the Condor was so wide that there was no way that it was going to get hurt in earnings.
Not a chance.
Not a chance. I mean, it was 15% away on the upside and the downside. 15%. I mean, that's wide. It hadn't been in either one of those, the shorts in like well over a year. So there's no way, nothing, like, And you told me no revenge trading, and I'm like, okay, fine. But I mean, hey, I know what I'm doing, right? I know what I'm doing. I've been
You
doing
do
this for a
because
while.
you taught me these principles,
I
right?
can do
So
it.
I'm reverting back what you've taught me.
Right. And so I'm like, okay, yeah, it'll be all right. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. And then we talked about it, and you were like, no, no, no. And then Novo Nordisk, which is their biggest competitor, came out, and they went down on earnings a little bit. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know, Matt. I'm gonna look really stupid if it's $100,000 Condor. I mean, that's a lot of money.
Mhm.
Uh, and I'm gonna look really stupid if it goes bad, but I don't see. I could look really good if it goes good. But I was like, no. What would the smart thing to do? And I was up about 3 grand, so I took it off. If I was sitting on a loss though, I don't know. If I was negative, I don't know. Maybe I would have hung in there a little bit longer. Uh,
Would we be having this
it,
talk today?
I don't know. It's funny how the mind works, right? So I was up, so I was like, okay, I'll take my profit and take off the risk. But if you're down, you're like, man, I don't want to lose money. I don't know. I'm gonna fight it out. But that it doesn't matter if you're up or down. It's about the future. It's about what's coming.
Mhm.
And then a couple of days ago, they had earnings yesterday, and the stock dropped more yesterday than it has in 25 years.
I believe it was right around, I think we were looking at this in some of our coaching calls yesterday.
Yeah,
It's a good example. And 106 points
yeah.
dropped.
It went all the way to my short strike. All the way to the short strike. And then today it went lower, so now it's below my short strike. So I would have been in such deep water because there's only like what a week left to exit.
Right. So it's like you have such little
I
time.
it's like I can't do anything. I can't adjust it. I can't fix it. It's either gonna be like coin flip time, 100 grand on the line, no sleeping time for the next week. No, that's not the way you trade. So thank
No.
you again, and let this be a lesson to everybody that's watching. Do not do that. We don't want to revenge trade, number one. And number two, we don't want to go into earnings with a calendar or a call spread or a put spread or anything like that.
Right.
That's not the way it works. You don't do that because of specifically this reason. Even though you think, oh, hey, look at the chart, it hasn't been there. I mean, this thing had not dropped so much in 25 years and it just fell out of bed like it died. even though they had some good news, like if you heard the call, some of the stuff was good news. And the analysts just they wanted to hear other things. They didn't like what they heard, and the stock just tanked.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, you put a trade on and it looks, statistically sound, and you think that it can't happen, and here's a glaring indication of anything can happen.
yes.
I mean,
So
25 years, you know?
25, I mean, 15%. This is a stock that does not move around,
Right.
15% drop. And there was nothing you could have done. It was all, it opened, it gapped, right? So, whoop, sorry, you're out of luck. Um, And so there's a bunch of lessons when we will unpack it. You know, it's a
Sure.
is the risk you're taking worth the reward? Is it too big for your account size? Is it, what is your thinking? What is your plan? What happens if something goes wrong? What are you going to do about it? In this case, there was nothing I could do. It was either we go good in earnings or we go bad in earnings. But even if we went good in earnings, earnings would have popped up. I still would have been in trouble. So,
Yeah.
I, I, just stay away from stocks that. And so now I'm like, oh, do I go back in? Do I go back into Lily? And I'm thinking, yeah, no, just move on.
Yeah,
Move on.
maybe just move on.
Just move
We
on.
talk about it a lot, like and what keeps coming up in people's minds, in every trader's mind is, when you have a win and you have, like you did, you're up 3 grand and you took it off, taking a profit is never a bad decision. It's never a bad decision, you know?
I don't know. I don't know about that. Depends why you're doing it. Like if you're getting if you have a specific reason. Because sometimes, we sell options and like on this trade, right? I could have made 15 grand total, but I was up three. And now some people they see that and they get scared. They're like, "Oh my God, I don't want to get back to three. I don't get back to three." But in our game, the game is waiting, right? We have
Right.
to put the trade on and sit around and wait.
Yeah,
But a lot of people they don't have that ability. They see the money, they're like, "I gotta get it. I gotta get out. I gotta get out." Or they see a loss. Because sometimes
right.
you put a trade on and it'll show a loss right away because it goes against you a little bit, but eventually the theta will kick in and then the loss turns into a break even and then a gain and then you win, which happens most of the time because of the percentages. But some people they just mentally they can't handle that. So in this situation,
I would say, yeah, you're right. You have to have a reason, right, of why you're staying in.
yeah.
Um, but if you are don't have that reason, right, or you feel uneasy, um, then I would argue that I would say, take it off, right? I can't recall anyone who's like, okay, I took off for a profit and was upset about it, right? So it's like, you know, I
I
would
might
argue
have
that,
been. I mean, I might have been upset. Like if I took it off, right, to be safe, and then they go through earnings and nothing happens in earnings, and then the day after earnings, all the volatility is gone. So my condo would probably been up, 12, 13 grand instead of three.
right, it's always easy to look back though. It's easy to look back and be like, would have, could have. But I think in that moment, you have to really decide for yourself a sound reason, right, of why you would stay in with your experience as a trader. If
Mm-hmm.
it changes, then, if you're not sure of that reason of why you would stay in, other than I want more money, then I would say take it off.
Yeah. I mean, for me, the biggest thing was, our rules say do not do this into earnings.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. And do you want to go against your rules? And I decided originally I said yes, I'm going against the rules because I want the money. I just want the money. I want to get my money back. This stock owes me money, and it became personal. That's the only reason I would be trading. I've been trading this stock for months now, and that's the only reason because I had lost money. Otherwise, I see this chart, I'm like, damn, I don't want to touch that. If you showed
Yeah,
it
you're not unique to
otherwise,
this. I
uh,
used to do it. I used to do it with MasterCard. Okay. Like I would always, I put the trade on, right? And things happen, right? You can do everything right. And there are a couple instances where I would be like, you know what? I want to beat this. I want to beat MasterCard. And it becomes different than the principles and the direction that you sought forward. You have to really revenge trading, it can be a really bad thing, because you lose track of all the rules that you put in place, and that's how you become a sound trader,
Yeah,
you
it
know?
just becomes you against this one stock.
Yeah, it's never good. I mean, what's even worse is if it works out for you and then you don't learn the lesson, you continue to do it, right? You're like, oh yeah, I did this and I took the gamble and I won, and that kind of puts you in a bad place. So you become inconsistent, in my
Yeah.
view.
So like years ago, I was a realtor. You know, you had a little get your license, you got there, you sell houses and everything. And I was also a mortgage broker at the same time. And I learned really quickly that you make the same amount of money for the same amount of work. Doesn't matter what house you sell or what mortgage you do, especially the mortgages. The paperwork is almost exactly the same, and you make m more money on a bigger mortgage, right? Because you have a commission or a percentage. And so you're doing the same amount of work. You could do mortgages for $50,000 and you could do mortgages for $500,000 or $1 million or $5 million. Same amount of work, but the amount of money you get is totally different. And so now, you take a look at trading and you're like, okay, for you, MasterCard, for me now, Lily, also Home Depot is another one that I just
Hmm.
can't get. It's like, yeah, I could go and buy it, battle and fight with it, or I could just find another one that's doing really well and just win. And it's the same amount of work. Actually, no, it's a lot more work when you're battling a stock
Right.
for the same amount of money, right? You try, okay, I'm gonna make the same money if I do this trade, this iron condor here or this iron condor here. One is going to be a lot less stressful and smooth, and the other one's going to be like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah, the key is, we always talk about it a lot. Like you get in the zone with things, right? You get in the zone with trading, and I think it's the same thing. Um, when you're fighting upstream, right? It's like you're going against the current.
Hmm.
I think it's that very true with trading, right? So you can either fight it or find another opportunity um,
Yeah,
to make the money, just as easy.
yeah. So we got some chats in there, and Jennifer James is in the house. Jennifer, I believe we have your question coming up, so we're gonna take a look at that one. But she says the book, Biggest Loser Wins, talks about revenge trading and getting out or staying in too long. Yeah, revenge trading can be a big problem. That was an interesting book, Alec recommended it in our different programs. So after like three or four people were like, "Oh, this is such an awesome book," I was like, "Okay, maybe I should go read it."
Yeah.
So I did read it, and the one thing, there were a couple of things, and I want to talk about that later on and in a different time. But one thing that might be pertinent to this conversation is that what he had a trouble with was, and he was a day trader, right? So he was trading stocks, and so
Mhm.
when he had a winning position, he would he was afraid to add more. Like a lot of people are like that, It's like, oh
Oh
hey,
yeah.
I have the stock, it's going up, that's great. But if I add more, then my risk is bigger. And if it turns around and goes down, then I lose twice as fast. So they don't keep adding to the winning position. But if it's a losing position, then yeah, people put more money in. Oh yeah, I'm going to double my average dollar cost average and get my cost basis down and then da 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 da. So he's like, that's like the complete opposite of what you should do as a professional trader. Oh, that's interesting,
It's
because
fascinating psychology because you really should, they say the best traders are the ones that do that. They increase their position, right?
yeah. Because
You
like
know,
I mean,
you're
I have a couple positions on right now that are small, but they're doing really well. They're quiet, they don't bother me, they're just slow, steady grinding. And I'm like, I have not added to this position. Why not? Like it's doing well. Why don't I keep adding to it? Because I add to the ones that are like, the stock's going up and it's going down, da da da. So I'm more focused on those. But these two or three stocks are like slow, steady, just going up higher, 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 higher. And I was like, man, most of my money should be in these.
piling in, yeah.
So yeah, okay. And then Lizard King, you talked about UNH. No, we were talking about Eli Lilly earlier. That was the big drop, 25% or 15% or something.
Incredible.
Salim, he recommends reading a book, Trading in the Zone.
That's a
And
great book.
you've read
Great
that
book.
one, right?
I've
Yeah.
read that one. I have not read the one that you just mentioned. I need to.
Which one? The
Um,
Biggest Loser? Biggest Loser wins?
yeah, I have not read that yet, but I've heard great things about it.
Yeah, everybody like since he mentioned it, I think Alec mentioned it in our in what passive trading. I think like
Hmm.
4 or 5 people have been like, "Yeah, it's an awesome book. It's an awesome book."
Yeah, a lot of people
So,
for sure.
trading in the zone. I mean, it gets a lot of you know compliments and whatnot. I thought it was rubbish. I threw it away.
I'm in thinking if you can get one good thing out of a book, it's worth it.
Yeah, yeah.
And what I got of the book, and I really piece it together, is like everyone has an expectation of what they think the market should do. And that book kind of changed my philosophy of like, it's one thing to say you're not in control of the market. The market's going to do whatever it's going to do. But you can't put that burden on you in a way that you're responsible for what the market does. The market's going to do whatever. So you can only react to what the market gives. You're always talking about you can only trade the market that's given you. And I think that's the big message with that book. So we get all, upset with ourselves if it doesn't go the way that we think it should go. But the market is a very dynamic, it's never the same moment when you're trading. It's every moment's different, so it's so dynamic. You have no control over that, right? So you have to trade with it. It's like a river. You got to trade with the market, almost surf it. So that was the one big thing that, I mean,
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah,
That's
there's a
great.
lot of fluff in that book, right? And
I
I
don't even
like books that
remember.
get to the point. Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's the one big thing that came out to me. So
that's awesome.
yeah.
Cool. Sweet. So today we did have gold hit a new high again. This year gold's already up 28%. It's the best year since 2010 for
Hmm.
gold. And it just continues to go higher and higher. I've been selling put spreads on it for months now. It's doing great. And you look at the chart, and it's still doing well. It's slowed down some, the ascension has slowed down, but that's still for put spreads, hey, that's still working. And
Are you going to add to your position now
I
based on what
just
we just talked about?
I just I just got exited out of some yesterday. And I need to clear up some capital, and then I'm going to be going back in next week, put some
Okay.
more on. I mean, it's just been something that just works, and like we talk about it with credit spread mastery. It's like sometimes you just go back to you know, the not the wheel. You go back to
Go back to the well.
the well. There we
The
go.
well.
Not the wheel, the
Back
well.
to the well.
And you just if it's working, you keep playing, and it's just there you go, simple money, easy money. Gold has not caused any problems this year at all. It's just been smooth and steady, and as it's going to keep doing that, right? As long
Right.
even if they start raising or they start lowering rates, that's going to push gold even higher. Suppose if that's what it's supposed to do, right? And so for gold, things are looking great. If you get nothing out of this show, if you're not in gold, look at it. Look at it. Start trading it. Start puts either sell some puts on it. It's already up 28% this year, so I don't know how much higher it's going to get. Maybe a little bit, but definitely if you can take out 10% a month selling put spreads on it, that's the better play.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always a good flight to safety. A lot of people do that when they're uncertain about the market.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
But this time, I don't know if it's the market they're uncertain about. I do know that the big guys, the central banks, are buying more and more gold. The brick, not, is it the brick? Or it's the companies that are trying to get off the countries trying to get off the dollar, right? They've
Hmm.
been they've been looking for ways like, okay, how do we get out of the thing? What do we anchor to? And they've been buying a lot of gold. So I don't know if their plan is to go back on the gold standard for their currency or
I mean, you
whatnot.
could- you can go into credible things like they even talk about is the government, the government is talking about a strategic Bitcoin reserve, right? They've made that happen. Are they going to sell gold and then buy Bitcoin? One of those things. Who knows, right? Who knows?
Mm.
Because they want to do it in a budget neutral way. That'd be one way.
Budget neutral. What is that? They
Meaning
don't
that the
they don't know what
taxpayers
that
are,
means.
well, they say the taxpayers aren't going to pay for it. So what they would do is revalue the gold, right, at market price, because it's not at market price. Then they would buy Bitcoin with the gold that they have.
Maybe. I don't know. I have no idea, but
Who
I do
knows, right? But
know.
interesting.
Yeah, but Trump, he's put tariffs on Switzerland. And everybody's like, at least I was thinking, like, what do we get? We get like chocolate from there and,
No, I love chocolate.
watches. Like, yeah, the Rolexes are going up. So if you're buying a Rolex, you're going to pay more money. But other than there's few items, what do we get from Switzerland? And it came across the market today in the headlines that it's the gold bullion is what we get from Switzerland for somehow.
Hmm.
So that is pushing up gold prices in Europe and setting gold prices in the US lower. So it's messing up the equilibrium of gold price. And so now there's more arbitrage in the market and it's going to be interesting how that works out. And
To
people
me, the
are
gold market is a huge rabbit hole. I mean, I don't want to go off topic, but remember how big it was for Fort Knox? Like, oh, do we have the gold there? And it was such a big topic, and then no one's talking about it anymore, right? So it's like, okay, interesting times. I mean, very interesting times we're living in.
So, you want to get to Jen's questions?
Sure.
All right.
All right. So Jen, I'm going to share my screen. She did a put spread on Google. So I'm going to bring that up. All right. So can you see the screen?
Yes, I can see it.
All right. So Jen did a 43-day DTE trade on Google. So she did a bull put spread, and this red line is her position. So she put it on yesterday, did it in the morning.
Can
Uh,
you tell us what the lines are?
yeah, so this would be your 200, your 20, and 50 right here. This yellow line,
Oh,
right?
so the red is 200.
Red's 200,
Okay.
right? 50,
50
and then the
and
20
20.
right
Okay.
here. So what we like about this is that it's a smooth upward trajectory, right? So it's been doing nothing but moving higher, right? Because the tech's doing very well. Kind of reached a high up here, but we had a high back here at 208, but it's kind of almost near the highs that it was before. So she put a position down here. So she did a five wide spread. She chose to do this on the 7th, which was yesterday. So right here, it has since moved up. So her position looks good. So um, she chose 46 cents for this. So if I analyze it here, she did a 175 put spread. So a five wide spread, received 46 cents for it at that time. So we like to be in general. You would like to see, you want to get 10% of this trade. So we'll see. That looks pretty good right here. And then she has a uh, 88% probability of profit for this trade. So that looks pretty good. Now, if I uncheck this, it's at 31, so it's already decayed down. If she needs to get out of this trade for, let's say it went against her,
Well, that's
she would,
not decay, right? That's because the stock popped today.
yeah, for the pop, yeah. But, there's 43 days, so it's a long time to go.
Yeah.
Um, so this trade looks to me pretty good. I don't know what are your thoughts on it?
So I like it that it's under, I don't like it that it's not able to make 10%. So that's like, one of the big things. Like, hey, we have to make at least 10%. Otherwise the math kind of doesn't work out.
Mhm.
So
So
in this
minimum of
case,
50 cents or higher, we'd be looking for it.
yeah. But on this case, like if she had moved it higher, right? If she had moved her strikes higher, she would have been looking at what, 180, 175?
Hmm.
And that would have been, on top of the 200-day moving average, which we don't want. We want the 200 to be above.
And you're not always
Um,
going to get this, right? You're not always going to be below. You'd like to be below all
you want to
three.
be below, yeah,
You
you
want
want to be
to.
below, but You want as much of these sandbags in the way to help protect you. The other thing about this chart is, yeah, it looks, if I only look at half the chart, like from um, February onwards, it looks fine. But right now, it might be heading into a double top. I don't know. We won't know yet until for a few more days. Um, but technically speaking, like you already had this one top in the middle where it was at that level for a while, then it topped out at 208. Now it looks like it's going back there. Uh, and so we'll see how it reacts.
Yeah, so
43 days, there's going to be enough chance for it to top out and then come back down.
so here's the where it would be for a top would be right here, double top. So it'd
Yeah.
be right about here. So
Yeah.
it's getting there. It's almost there.
Yeah. So it has a few more dollars to go up.
I
She's
do like the smoothness of this, right? Um,
right.
it's a smooth upward trajectory.
Yeah. And then the other thing was, so earnings is gone. NVIDIA's earnings is coming up, which might have an effect on Google. Maybe not, maybe not. But that's nothing we can do about that. And other than that, the trade looks fine. I think it'll work. Seeing how she's already up a bunch of money, right? It was 46, now it's what, 31, you said?
31.
You know, um,
But she does have to wait till it to get down to 6 cents for her to get out
right. If she were, why 6 cents? What's that?
for the 10%.
Well, she can't make 10%.
All right, right. But she has to wait. She has to go down pretty far down.
Well, she has to let it expire and then she'll make
Yeah,
like
pretty much, which is a
8%.
long time. I
She'll make like
mean,
9% on that.
yeah, but
I
it's a
wouldn't,
long time to be in a trade.
I don't want to be in there for 43 days. So what I'm thinking is that if she gets even half, maybe, or a little bit, if it gets down, right now it's at 31, you said?
31 cents, yep.
Show it
See,
again, the analyze.
31.
31, right. So 46, I gotta do it. I gotta do this on a calculator. That's pathetic. 46 divided by 2, 23. So I don't know if it gets into the 20s next week, I might consider taking it off because I've gotten half the money. Um,
Would you even consider going back in? That's a possibility too.
you could, I would want to see about that double top to see if it kind of fizzles out. Um,
I mean, if you look at it, even if it retreats a little bit, there's room for it to
she's
retreat
still
and
got, yeah,
still,
she's still got lots of room.
yeah. That's what I do like about this.
So I'm not even sure why I'm getting scared here. Um,
It's Eli Lilly. It's still in your mind.
maybe, maybe. Because I mean, even if it is a double top and it drops again, it might drop back down into the 190s. And there's plenty of support there. So she's the trade will probably work out
Yeah, I feel
without
pretty
having without having to do
the
anything.
tech narrative right now and going forward with AI and everything. Um,
Yeah.
feel pretty good about it.
Is there a time frame for double tops? So you got to it's got it got to 208 before. So I would say like if it gets to about 205 or a little bit higher and it stalls and then it starts going sideways, that's when you get a little bit concerned. What you really wanted to see is you wanted to go make a new high where Matt drew the line at around 208. You wanted to see it go to 208 and then you wanted to go see much stronger higher. You want to go up above 208. That'll be a new high and then the double top won't happen, hopefully. In terms of time frame, can it happen within the trade? Yes, it could happen. Because like you see here on the last time, right? It got up to somewhere in the middles here, like 195, and then it kind of started going sideways. It went up on earnings, or maybe not, maybe it dropped earnings, but it went up right before earnings.
Yep, so you have earnings here,
Where was
and it jumped
earnings?
up a little bit to its high.
No, that was the day of, and then it gapped down on earnings.
Oh, right here,
So the
yeah.
day before, the day of earnings, it made the high, and then bad news, and then poof, came all the way back down, and then it started. going down. So even if this double top is in place and it goes up and it comes back down, it's still going to come down to like the mid 190s. And so at 175, you should be safe. But then if it does do that, um, you'll be in the trade for a lot longer. You'll probably be in for 30, 35 days, maybe. But as of that, I don't see anything really wrong with the trade itself. There's a potential for a double top, but with the way the market is going now, with the way the Nasdaq is flowing, um, I think we're in a bullish situation with the whole market, and so I think the trade's fine. Most likely it'll work out. I'm just trying to pick at it and trying to say, okay, is there anything
Well,
that
you
could
should
go
do. You need
wrong?
to pick it apart.
I'm trying to, but I mean, we could talk about that for hours. Like there could be,
Yeah.
um, like, oh, because Apple went to the White House and Google didn't, that's a bad thing for Google. No, they're looking at conspiracy theories. But other than that, I think the trade is fine.
Like I always like to look at these trades. Okay, it's 43 days. I want to pick it apart in every which way that I can for that period of time, right? And kind of just focus in right on that. Um, and check off all those boxes that you talk about. Okay, is it above these moving averages? Is it smooth? Is it the double top we just talked about?
Right.
I
So we
would
do
like to
have, like
yeah,
we do have the 14, what is it, the 14 or 17 different
points.
ways that you want it to work out to be in your favor, right? To put the ads or the odds in your favor. And there's like 17 different, 14 different, 17, I'm not sure, different ways that we do
Right.
that. So you get as many of those, but in the end, it comes down to, it fits the criteria, most of them. Um, you're not going to know until you put it on. And
Yeah.
so that's what we do. We put it on, and then there should be no emotion. If it wins, wonderful. If it loses, on to the next one. And that's
Yeah, and
it.
you need to know your parameters of getting out, right? If this trade goes against you, you have to pull the trigger on it.
So that's going to be a little harder because she doesn't have like where does she get out? If she can't make 10%, then what is the stop loss at?
Yeah,
Right? It shouldn't, it's not going to be at 25 because we're not doing 10 and 25. So
right.
does she get out at 20% loss? Does she get out at 15% loss? I don't know. What do you think?
Um, in a case like this, I mean, I would probably err to. I'd probably cut it a little bit earlier. Not so sure. It's becomes more of a manual idea, about when you're going to get out.
Right.
Um,
So I mean, Jen's watching. So Jen, what do you think? When are you getting out? Um,
I would have liked to have a little bit more premium, of course. Um,
okay, maybe there's some delay in the comments. I don't know. But did she put anything in her original question?
so let's see here.
I think there was something. Okay. So it says here, if it goes to $1.60, she's going to evaluate and adjust. She's either going to close it out or roll it up and maybe increase contracts or go out another month at the same strikes.
So
She's
she
gonna,
she
if it
also
gets to 5 cents, she's gonna close it for 8% profit. Okay, so she's gonna get out at 5 cents,
okay.
which is good. So is 1.6, she's asking, is $1.60 the right place to get out on a loss? So if you are going to adjust, then you probably want to get out a little bit sooner, 15, 20%, and then that'll give you a little bit of room. If you're just gonna get out and not get back in, then yeah, the 25% would work.
That's good. I like the
Okay,
trade though. I do.
okay, sweet. And then she had another question. So She says, I heard Alan discussing the idea of waiting for a 52-week low and then watching as it stabilizes, a stock stabilizes and bounces back up for a way to purchase a stock. I'm curious about CMG. All right, so can you pull that one up?
Yeah. Let's see.
So basically, the idea was, and I mentioned this before, I was looking at some of the watch list stocks, and the ones that had bottomed, they kind of ricocheted off the bottom in this market. So,
There's CMG. Yeah.
yeah. So can you pull up, I don't know what you can pull up, Pepsi?
Pepsi. That's PEP in it.
Yeah.
PepsiCo.
I don't know if this one's a good view. Yeah, see, so like this one heading lower, 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 lower all year round, right? Finally, it got to be around like a dot, what was that, 130? And then it stabilized, finally hit a low of 127. And from there, now it popped and then it's off to the races.
And then it gapped up
So,
earnings.
right. So I've seen, this type of pattern occurring on a lot of the watch list stocks where they've gone down. A lot of them hit the low on the Liberation Day, after the tariff news, and then they pop back up again, and then they were off to the races. So I think that's what Jen is asking about. Like, how do you know that the bottom is in and it's time to get back in? Now, I've been asking that question for a long, long time. How do you know when the bottom is in? And you kind of don't. Um, but what I've been looking for is, okay, the bottom is in, it's moving sideways, meaning it's not continuing to make new lows. So it's moving sideways, and then there has to be some strong move higher. Uh,
Some
you
kind of
know,
little catalyst.
So I don't know if it's a catalyst, like it could be, I mean, obviously something's going to push it up, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, a catalyst, but a little strong move higher and then maybe a continuation move higher before I would get back in. Now in Pepsi here, it's already gone from, 127 to 145. Did you miss the move? I don't know. On this one, like if it goes above that 200 moving average, that red line, maybe it's time to get back in. That might be telling you because that's also going to be a lot when people get in technically because now you're above the 200-day moving average. So now it's back into a bullish type phase. Um, and then you'll have even more when that 50-day moving average crosses the 200-day moving average.
Yep.
You'll have a lot more people pile in then because that's like a golden cross scenario. And so you might be able to get in a little bit earlier than that if it does get above the 200. That's what I would be looking at. And it's almost there. But this is just one stock. So let's look at the other one, CMG.
Yep. So back to CMG. Okay. All right, this one.
Okay. So, right, this is going, it was going sideways, jumped up a little bit, came back down, bad on earnings, and now it's just free falling. It's like you see red, red, red day after day after day. You see red all the way down till today. Today's down another what, 2.5% or something.
It just keeps getting worse.
Yeah, so this I would not touch this until it stops going down, stabilizes, and it's been moving sideways for maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks or something. And then it moves up. You got to see that move up. It's a little pop
Mhm.
up. So can you pull up Campbell's? I think it's CPB.
CPB.
Yeah.
Company.
So this is one that I've been watching for a while, and it just kept lower, lower, lower. I thought, market's getting, or the economy's getting worse. Inflation is still here. People are going to be buying soup, but I guess not. So this one kept going lower and lower, and then it bottomed out, right? And then you see this little pop here, the little green,
Right
yeah,
here.
that one right there. So I said, oh, okay, I got a little pop here, and I'm going to get in. So I got in, I think a little bit after that pop. Um, and so I'm trying to check this out to see if it works. So I do have a few hundred shares of this stock, and I'm testing out this theory of how do you know when the bottom is in, and then how far can this go up? Now, if the company is fundamentally unsound, then it's probably not going to work. Um, but if it's a good company and it's just a matter of the stock, then yeah, it could work really well. So here, let me look at. I'm gonna look at some of the ones on my list and see if I can find something else.
It's smart to compare though, like you're comparing to other stocks, right, that are similar. And then you're parsing out that event, right? To see if anything, because if they're all going lower, right, and you can see that happening, and then they kind of work in tandem. So, it's a good way to look at it.
Make mine a little bit bigger.
You gonna share?
Yeah. Okay. I know the screen's gonna be a little bit shorter. Let me see if I can pull up a study set with nothing. A little bit better. Um, but like, okay, so this is what AMD. So you see
Mhm.
here, lower, 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 lower. Makes a low here, 75. That's actually, I think, Liberation Day. A couple days later, it pops, but then it goes back down. But it did make a new low when it went back down. And then it went up, 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 and then it finally said, okay, hey, I'm going up. And so then from here, this is probably where I would have gotten in, somewhere around here. And then it just went up straight higher, right? Take a look at a couple others. This one, very similar. This is Amazon, right? Similar pattern, Liberation Day, went back up, came all the way back down. Then it started going up. And then there was this pop here, this little gap here. This is probably what I've been looking for. I'd probably get in right after this little gap up. And then yeah, you would be down a little bit, but you caught the rest of the move. So you went from like 211 to like 220, 230. Um, Now the question I do not know is how long do you stay in? Like like how big is the move going to be?
Yeah, I don't know.
So this is something I'm playing with. I'm trying to wrap my mind around. Um, like this one, right? This is American Express. I'm trying to find something that doesn't have the same exact pattern.
It's interesting that they most of them though ride very close to the 200, right? You're not too far, um, on the upswing. It's
So
very
like here
close.
we go. Here's one. Bristol Myers Squibb went down, made a new low, right? Popped back up again. So now it's at 45. Um, I would want to see. I would probably wait another week, week and a half, 2 weeks even, to see what it does. Does it keep going lower, or does it, pop back up and get back into this like above close to 50? And if it does, then that's probably where I would get in and then see if it goes higher.
That
But
purple is your 50, right?
yeah, purple is 50.
Yeah,
So
I'd
I
be
mean,
waiting for it to pop into that.
I would have a top, a tight stop on it and be like, okay, if this turns around and goes back down, I'm getting out. So you got a risk of, maybe a couple dollars per share. But if you find one and it breaks out, then yeah, it could be a big gainer. So one, liberation, liberation. They're all liberation bottoms. Okay, so Chipotle, here we are. Um, Kind of dead money all year and then big miss on earnings. And they basically said, hey, people are not coming to the stores anymore. So I believe this is going to keep going down. You might see it into the low 30s.
So the
Uh,
reason it's so expensive, I mean, did you get the exact reason other than that?
no, they're just, I mean, their prices have gone up and so has everything, right? Every restaurant has gone up. So they're not the only ones, but now they're saying that, hey, we can't really raise our prices more. So we're going to have to eat it if prices stay
Hmm.
high or they go higher. And so, but people are just not coming into their stores as much. And they're
Right.
saying
There
that that's
usually used to be
because,
lines out the at the door, all the
yeah,
time.
and that's because they're saying people, people are being a little bit tighter on their pocketbook. They're not eating out as much. Um, and so that's why we're seeing fewer people. But let's see if we can see some more. Okay, see, like this one would be a perfect one. Also Liberation Day bottom, but since then it popped up here, popped up on earnings. So if you had bought it like right here, you could have ridden it from 250 all the way to 400. But then, once you're at 400, then it's like, what do I do now? How long do I
Yeah,
stay in this?
you're in
What
rarefied air, so you're kind of like, oh,
what do I do? But once you got in, you were waiting. You were waiting for like weeks and weeks and weeks for it to do something, and then it popped again, and then it took off.
you're
Um,
climbing the wall of worry.
yeah. Liberation. Uh,
That's basically sideways.
yeah. I mean, they hit their low back here, then they popped up. I don't know how far they went, but if you had bought it like right around here where it kind of stabilized, you were buying it about 900, you could have gone up to 1,000 or almost 1050 or something before it came back down. So you'd still be up if you bought it somewhere around here. This is the one I'm in, right? So kept going lower, 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 lower. I was watching it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try this theory. I'm gonna wait for this to stop going down. And it does seem, right?
It
If
seems like it's
you,
coming around a little bit.
yeah, it seems like it's kind of bottomed and now it's like kind of making a U-shape recovery. It's kind of like moving higher. So I think I did buy it like after this. So I'm currently down on a couple $100, but I feel good that I waited until it showed me that it wanted to go higher. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. Now, how much am I going to hold it? I don't know. Right? Do I wait till, it gets to 40 or 50? I don't know.
Hmm.
I'll that's part two of the trade. Part one, I'm trying to
Yeah,
figure
I
out
mean,
right
it is
now.
a question, right? How
But then
long do you
part
want to
two.
stay in it, right?
Yeah.
Um,
And then Lizard King had a question. He was talking about UNH. So this one, I was thinking of playing with the same way, but it just kept dropping. Like I was thinking, oh, okay, it made a new low here, right here. And I was like, okay, it's probably gonna pop, and then it went sideways, sideways, sideways. I'm thinking, okay, I need some confirmation. I need it to go up. I need it to
mhm.
go up. You had a little bit here, but then it just kept going lower and lower and lower. So this is one that has a lot more issues than the average bear. So I don't know.
Now, when that
Maybe
executive got shot in New York, where was that? That was back
it's probably somewhere over here.
somewhere in there. Okay.
Yeah. And then it dropped, and then they had really bad earnings, or I think it was back here. No, and that was this year, right?
Yeah,
2024.
it wasn't too long ago.
So it
So,
must have been like somewhere around here.
right.
They had the big drop, and then it just fell out of bed on earnings, or maybe I don't know.
Those, well,
So
tariffs are in there somewhere.
well, they have a lot of issues in terms of what they're paying for stuff, and um,
Sure.
forgot what it, but no, I don't remember exactly when that was. I just know that I was thinking of getting back in, and it just keeps going lower and lower. So probably would not touch that one.
Very interesting.
All right. And so the question is, how do I submit questions via email? Yeah, you could email help@optiongenius.com. Or if you're here and you have something you want us to take a look at, you just put it in the chat and we'll try to get to it, which we probably will be able to most of the time. But help@optiongenius is our email address. So if you have any questions, shoot them to us. If you like this video, or you have some suggestions or improvements or whatever, let us know in the comments below, and we will take a look. This is a new thing that we're doing, and we are learning as we go. So, yeah, give us
I'm
give us some
enjoying it. I
feedback.
like taking stocks apart. It's fun.
Give us some feedback, good, bad, ugly, all that stuff. And we'll use it to hopefully get better. And then James is or Jennifer saying that the HUM is also in a similar situation. So, oops, let's look at HUM. So HU,
Come on. Come on.
look at that one. I think she found one. All right. Lower,
Looks
lower,
banana.
lower. Got a nice little bottom. We got this bounce right here. And now it looks like it's trying to break it. I don't know. I might throw a few $100 on this one. This might work. Maybe.
I mean, it,
So it
you
does
think
look
it's
like
good.
it does look like it is trying to go higher. Right now it's at 264. You know, maybe you try to ride it till about 300 because that's kind of where it's topped out right here, here, and here. So I don't know if it's going to get higher than 300, but you have some, you know, if you're looking for a nice little pop, 264 to maybe even 290. Um, Instead of buying the stock, maybe you buy a long call and see if that works. That might
Yeah,
be a decent trade for, and I don't even think it might take that long. It might take less than a month to play out at this rate. Because
definitely
like,
looks like it's making a nice little turn there.
yeah, like if you put the, you know, so it's going to get to 290 somewhere by before the end of the month. So if it works, it'll be there by the end of the month. So you don't have that long to wait to see if this one was gonna it's gonna hang out and work. So
I like that.
cool, good one, Jennifer. All right, Armando says hello. How you doing, man? What's going on? Okay. So if you have not already liked the or subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do that.
Yes, we need likes. We
We
need
need lots
them.
of likes, we need the little
Yeah.
thumbs up, and we need the bells. We need all the stuff. Comments, the likes, subscribers, watch time. We need all that stuff.
We need it all.
So it helps the algorithm, it pushes this stuff out to other people. And we really need to get more people into passive trading. And
Involved. Yeah,
uh,
absolutely.
you know, like we're doing this show and we're sitting here, it's the middle of the trading day, and we're totally relaxed. You know, the trades are on, they're doing their own thing. We're just relaxing. We're not like, oh my God, this is going up and you gotta buy and you gotta sell it.
It shouldn't be
Oh
that way. You know, you don't want to be stressed. You got enough stress in your life.
my God. So it's like make trading fun again.
I
Make
like
trading fun
that.
again. Maybe we come up with a t-shirt, right? Make trading fun again.
Making trading fun
Option genius.
again. One trade at a time.
Lizard King's asking a question. He goes, "Hey, the new podcast you guys made. We forgot. I wanted to talk about that. We sponsored a new podcast. It's called, drum roll please, the Options Trading Podcast.
I worked hard on that
Very good name.
one.
Yeah, very creative. We paid like $1 million to somebody to come up with that name.
Options Trading Podcast.
And so the Options Trading Podcast went live yesterday. There's 5 episodes you can watch. It's great for people who are just starting out, brand new to options, and for those who are looking for a little bit of a refresher. Like if you've been around, if you're traded, but you know, you stepped away for a while and you're trying to come back. There's going to be, I think, one episode every weekday. So there's gonna be a lot of episodes coming out. And they're talking about all different topics, and Option Genius does sponsor it. So um, you know, we're behind it. And if you have anything, any feedback about that, you can also let us know. Questions, feedback, anything like that. That would be cool. And so yeah, that's there. And Lizard King is asking, is the new podcast made by AI? So I'm going to ask you, Lizard King. I'll put it back on you. What do you think? I mean, obviously, I didn't make it. It's not my voice. I would be interested to know what you think.
Gonna answer that in the next call.
Yeah. And Jennifer says nobody should be confused about what the podcast talks about. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Jennifer. But you know, Blizzard King says it's really hard to tell if it's AI or not. That's the point. And yes, it is. It is AI. We do mention it at the very end in the closing that this is a AI generated podcast. Basically, what we do is we take materials from OptionGenius, stuff that we've written, stuff that we've taught, transcripts from videos, books, the courses, whatnot, and then we give it to the AI to create the content from. So it's got guardrails around it, so it's like it's not going to make, hopefully it's not going to make up something. And then we do listen to it and we make sure that everything is good, kosher, and then we send it and put it live. But because it is AI, it cuts down so much on the time
Hmm.
that it would take to put something out there. And, you know, we've never at Option Genius, I've, since we started, I've never really put out a lot of content about the basics. I always was looking at it like, this is a more advanced type strategy. That's what I want to focus on. I don't want to be talking every day about what is it call or what is it put and whatnot. But people really need that information.
They
And
do. They need that base.
and so, people keep asking us over and over again. We're like, well, this is a perfect opportunity for us to put that information out there in a way that doesn't really tax us because I've already written about it, right? How about we just put it into voice form and put it out there? And it didn't take any of my time, so I'm happy about
Yeah,
that.
and
But yeah, we've already have several hundred. I think we had over 500 or so downloads on just the first day. So yeah, if you guys go check that out, it's Options Trading Podcast. It's available on Apple or Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast. Um, I downloaded it yesterday. I was like, oh man, this is so cool, And I played it for my wife, and she's like, "Who is that? Where'd you get these people? That sounds really expensive. You hired actors?" And I'm like, "No, no."
secret. You're not supposed to know.
Uh, but yeah, so the name, yeah, Jennifer's saying that the name should be of a podcast should be something that nobody gets confused about. That's true.
Yeah.
Options trading podcast. Nobody's gonna be like, can you teach me how to like, play basketball? Like, sorry, wrong one. But that's cool. That's all we had today. You got anything to wrap up?
No, I think just everyone have a wonderful Friday and a great weekend, and we look forward to
Do we
seeing
have
everybody.
a market power? I got the signal
We
for.
let's see here. We're on the verge of one. SPX. Yeah, it looks like we are going to have one. So, yep,
Oh,
going
market
to the
power
next
number
hour. So this is a busy week.
1 point market numbers at 1.15. So yeah,
Yeah, yep.
hopefully it'll stay.
So it's going to be a over the weekend trade.
Yeah, just like last week.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
yeah, SPX is still it's pretty steady. So unless something crazy happens in the last hour, 1 hour, I think we could probably get into the trade very soon.
Yep. I'm
Cool
looking forward to
beans.
it. It's been a fun week.
It's fun when trades go well.
Of
It's fun
course
when
it
you
is.
make money. It's fun when you make money.
That's why we're here. It's fun.
Yeah. Cool beans. All right, everybody. We're out. We will see you again next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Central Time. If you have any questions, again, you can send us to help@optiongenius.com, or you can put them in the comments of these videos. We check the comments, let us know how we're doing. Hit the like button, subscribe button, hit all the buttons. It just helps the algorithm.
Just hit them all. Just hit them
Yeah.
all.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.